Hello, everybody, and welcome to HG Movie Talk. I am your host, Fluffy Duffy, once again joined here by my co-host, Dean's Beans. Say hello, Dean's Beans.
Hello, Dean's Beans.
Ah, great.
Did it again.
You did it again every time. Oh, okay. And Dean, do you want to introduce who we have joining us today?
Not really, you can.
Oh, okay. So here today we have a guest, Kozak Cameron. Say hello.
How's it going, everybody?
No offense, Karen. I feel bad for refusing to introduce you now.
Yeah.
Oh, you can introduce me as well if you want.
Yeah, do it again. Yeah, you guys.
I still don't feel like it, to be honest.
Now I'm actually going to be offended.
I just don't feel like I can do you justice.
He leaves.
Well, now I'm offended.
Cameron, do you want to give like a quick rundown of your channel and what kind of content you make?
Oh yeah, sure. So I just review movies that I either recently seen or movies that I saw a long time ago, but then I'm just going to recommend to my audience that haven't seen it yet. Or I just make fun videos every now and then talking about movies that are similar to other movies or actors that have done this or that, or just fun content basically through and through.
And one thing he forgot to mention, because he's just a humble dude, is he has 1.4 million followers. Which is like a big mic drop. Like, I think
all I have is a book, so I'll just drop that.
There we go. I was waiting. I'm like, dude, you don't have a mic? What's going on here? So I think the first question that I'll ask you, Cameron, is when and how did you start like making your videos?
So it was actually when COVID started, it got very boring around the house. And it was in the summer. And actually, I started December 25th, I believe. I think I would start December 25th, 2020. Yeah, it was like right before Christmas. I watched Wonder Woman, the 1984. Didn't like it. But I was like, you know what? I made like 3 different channels before this, and I wanted to do YouTube. So I was like, TikTok's a easier place to make content where I can talk about movies and just spread my love for it. So I just made my first video, which was talking about why Soul got a less IGN rating than Wonder Woman 1984. And I started off my channel as just literally a place just to like settle my boredom. And I just made videos every single day. And then I had a very popular video. My first popular video that I ever had was actually, ironically, not a movie. I did it on the weekends. Yeah, I did it on the weekends Save Your Tears music video, where I just talked about like references to movies. So I did have movie to it. But that was my first viral video. And it was crazy. I got a little bit over my head. I thought I was like, hot shit. Oh, wait, can we swear on this?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So and then I was like, you know what? Not all my videos are going to be like that. So I just continued to make videos knowing that they weren't going to get popular. And then I had a few more popular videos, and then more people wanted to see my content. So I started consistently making more every single day. I think I got up to like 6 videos a day. And then as of like probably 8 months, I've been doing like 3 to 5 videos a day. And then, just started off as a hobby, and then it sort of grew into a bigger hobby. And then now it's like a actual like part-time job that hopefully can turn into a full-time job.
That is insane.
I'm glad something good came out of Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, for real.
The one thing. Yeah, but first thing, there's nothing more humbling than the next video after a viral video just flopping. Like at that moment, like for a quick second, your ego just skyrockets, and then you are proven wrong so many times. But 3 to 5 videos a day, that is insane.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, I mean, especially when like, because as you get more followers, it's become, you sort of feel like you have to make like more videos, especially when you make more videos and then you have one that like gets a lot of views. It sucks to have one video that doesn't, because it's like it messes up the formula. So it's hard keeping within the 3 to 5 video range every single day, especially when it's like when you set such a high standard and then you don't have a video in mind to make, it's like it sucks.
Like sometimes like it's like 9 p.m. and I still don't have an idea for my one video. Like I try to get one video out a day, and it's still like practically impossible to think of something to do. And
So how long do you think you spend a day making your videos?
Good question. This is literally all my workers, they ask me this. I say a day, on a good day, where all my content is pitch perfect. There isn't one video where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna make this to get some views. If it's a perfect day, probably a good 3 to 4 hours, I'd say, on making videos.
That is insane.
Yeah. But on an average day, like, there's this video I really, really wanted to make. I'm gonna put all my time and effort into that, and then there's gonna be like 3 more videos that are just like, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. Probably 2 hours, probably on an average day, 2 hours.
This is something I've been wondering, because I've been watching your content for a while, and you have like, you don't have only 2 forms of videos, but I would say like you have like your movie reviews that are like focused on like the screen and like the trailer or whatever, and then you have ones that are like on your face and it's like a talking head type of a video. So like, which one of those are easier to make?
So for the longest time, I mean, I always just pointed my camera, my phone camera at the screen forever. Like, I mean, if you scroll down maybe like 3 months ago, literally all my videos were just of my screen and not of my face. So I always loved the idea of having my face in the videos. Those videos just never went anywhere though. They literally always, the ratios were always off. They got upwards of 9,000 views every video with 600 likes. So I was like, you know what, there's no, like, I didn't enjoy making it. But I was like, you know what, I want people to start recognizing the face behind the voice. So I started making more videos. And honestly, I love making videos with my face in it. I don't know if I love it more, but like, I love being able to like express more of like the ideals behind movies. Like, for example, my recent videos talking about like the Kung Fu Panda 4 movies. I love that kind of showing my face and talking about movies. But I also love being able to show the cinematography, the acting performances by the actors in the actual movie, which is why I love pointing my phone at the camera. But I think if I had to actually pick an answer, probably pointing my phone at the screen, just because that's what I've always done. It's like, it's not something that I came up with, but it's something that I, have sort of, what's the word? Sort of brought
it's
more
become like second nature
or something. Sort of.
Yeah, because I feel like when I make like my videos usually take a while, but like even still, like I usually can just go on like autopilot and just edit it and hope it turns out, like a video, not utter nonsense.
Yeah.
So I have another question for you, and this question might be a little controversial. I'm not sure. It might be though. So Straw Hat Goofy made a video with you recently, and because he's like, I want to be your movie guy, and you also have did that in your bio. Did you make it like, I want to be your movie guy from Straw Hat Goofy? Like, is he a direct inspiration for you, or did that just like happen?
So, well, I always wanted to be someone that could talk about movies and be the person that people could go to as being their movie guy before I knew about Straw Hat. But Straw Hat was really the person that sort of pushed me or nudged me into officially creating a movie TikTok account. So yes, Straw Hat Goofy is my inspiration for being, like a TikTok movie reviewer, talker. And I definitely have gotten some of my inspiration from him, but for the most part, I've made it my own thing. And me and Straw Hat, we've had conversations about it before, and talking about how there are similarities, but the fact that I've done a good job being able to make it my own thing, and that really all we're trying to do is spread the love and beauty of film. That's all we're trying to do. It's not about stealing content, because I don't believe in stealing content. I think stealing content is dumb. It's not original. But yeah. Wait, did that answer your question?
No, it did. Because when
Yeah.
I was seeing that, I was like, I could totally see like somebody just being like, I want to be your movie guy without knowing who Straw Hat Goofy is. Because that's like, that's definitely like Straw Hat Goofy's like catchphrase, if you will, but it's not like an uncommon thing. So I was just curious as to like,
Yeah.
did you mean to do like not did you mean to do that, but like
um it was sort of on my mind. I was like, you know what, I should have something fun in my bio. So I thought I'll put that, not thinking that it was actually sort of copying Straw Hats. I actually recently changed it.
oh
Like when he posted that video, just because, I was like, when he made the video and after reading it, I was like, you know what, maybe that does kind of sound like I'm taking his slogan. So I said one of your movie guys. So it's like I'm all including everyone in the movie. But that does to stay on this question there. So I don't know the name of this TikTok account, but I see them, they follow me. I don't know their name. But their content is, and I honestly, I don't mind if people like, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just content. People do it because they want to have fun on TikTok, and that's perfectly fine. But if we're talking about like copying TikTok, because I feel like with what I did with my content, I find a sound that goes with the theme. And there's this account that pretty much does the same thing I do, points the camera at the screen. That's all their videos, and they have almost the same openings as how I open up my videos sometimes, and the same music. But like, I honestly, like, I just think it's fun having people talk about movies. That's all.
No.
That's all I get.
I'm not gonna lie. When I go to like write a review for a movie, I typically go to your page because I'm like, this guy knows. Because I feel like I'm not insecure, but like sometimes I get worried that I don't know how to properly express how I want to talk about a movie. So I usually, whenever I go to write a movie review, I go to your page and look at a couple of videos, and I'm like, okay, this is how you do a hook. This is how you do like the synopsis. Like, I think you're really good at that. And also, I totally steal some of your sounds because you're good at finding them. You find good sounds.
Thanks. No. I appreciate that. That's nice.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be offended.
That guy you're talking about, that was me.
I used that someone else created. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of TikTok creators that haven't found their own way of projecting their way of talking about stuff, so they have to leech off of other people's content. But because there definitely are a lot of content creators that specifically copy other people's content as their source, and they know it. But sometimes people just like, you know what, I love the way this person does their TikTok, and I want to be like them, like, or I want to make content like them. And that, I think that's awesome. I think if you want to, make content like someone else, I think that's awesome. As long as, like Straw had said in his video, as long as it is known that they are whoever is your inspiration. Because Straw Hat's a great guy, and of course people are always going to be like, oh, you're the worst version of this. Like, it's clear you're copying. It's like, well, it's not clear, because I mean, I said that they're my inspiration. I've made it my own thing. But they're always going to be mad. People are always going to be mad.
Always.
Dean's always mad. And he's not even mad at like anybody particularly.
Like, I have about a dozen different TikTok accounts where I just cycle through them, commenting hate on various people.
Lex Reviews. It's just 12 different Lex Reviews accounts.
I'm Lex Reviews.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I've seen your content before.
Yeah, you take off a mask, you're like, Snyder, so good.
Lex Reviews comes up to about once a week nowadays.
Yeah, so once every podcast.
Just
about. Yeah. Let's see. Do I have any other? Dean, do you have any other specific questions?
I had one. It's gone, which is useful.
So should we get into the movie that we're going to talk about today?
Yeah. So usually for guest best, we ask always for guest best, actually. Yeah. We ask the guest to bring in their best film. And Cameron has chosen No Country for Old Men. But before we get into the film, there's a little something to do first. Has Harlan remembered this at all?
Oh, dang it. No, bro.
You want to explain it to Cameron for us?
Okay. So this game is called Are You Smarter Than a Fluffy Duffy? And the idea is that Dean has like it's like a trivia game show. So Dean has some questions to ask us, and yeah, whoever wins wins. And I've won once out of like 12. So looking up for you, Cameron.
So the odds are in your favor, Cameron. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I forget about this every time.
I know. I'm gonna do this slightly differently. Okay. So
okay,
I'll give you the question.
Okay.
Then you both give me your answer. Cameron goes first, and then Harlan, and then I'll say who's right. Okay.
Okay. That's harder for me.
No, it's easier because Cameron would go and then you would go.
Right.
But now, if you both say the same thing, you both get a point.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So Cameron, I'm afraid if you do lose, you will have to quit TikTok. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, them's the rules.
Sorry. We have deleted so many TikTokers now.
Hence the 12 channels like Dean was referring to.
Which question number 1 is which of these actors didn't nearly get a part in this film? Okay, so I've got 3 actors here. 2 of them were nearly in the film. 1 of them wasn't, and you've got to tell me which one wasn't. The 3 actors are Mark Strong, Joaquin Phoenix, and Heath Ledger. Cameron, do you want to go first?
Sure. Wait, what's the movie?
No Country for Old Men.
So all these questions.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Could you repeat the question, the answers?
Mark Strong, Joaquin Phoenix, and Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Are you both saying Heath Ledger?
Yes.
Yep.
Heath Ledger was nearly in this film as Moses. Mark Strong was nearly in it as Anton. It's Joaquin Phoenix was not nearly.
Should have gone with my gut.
There you go. 3 DC villains there for you. I actually didn't realize there were 3 DC villains until I read them out just now. That was a
wow, look at you.
accident. Okay. This movie was the second ever film to give the Best Director Oscar to 2 directors. Obviously, the Coen brothers. Which film did the first pair of directors direct? So this is the second film to give the Best Director Oscar to 2 people, which is the first film to give it to 2 people. Okay. Your options are West Side Story, The Sound of Music, and Cabaret. Which one did a pair of directors win Best Director for in the Oscars?
I'm gonna go with Cabaret.
I'm gonna go Sound of Music.
It's West Side Story.
Oh, really? Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow.
So all 3 of those films did win Best Director, but West Side Story is the only one of them to have 2 directors.
Wow, we were just exposed. I trusted. I thought all of them were going to be 2 directors.
No, I couldn't be bothered to figure out which films had 2 directors. Okay, another Oscar question for you. Very similar question.
Okay.
The second film. This is the second Best Picture winner to be produced, directed, and written by the same person, or in this case, the same 2 people. Which was the first film that's won the Best Picture Oscar that's been produced, directed, and written by the same person? The options are Kramer v. Kramer, Rain Man, and Titanic.
You said directed, produced, and wrote?
Directed, produced, and written, yeah.
Okay. And you said the answers were, you said Titanic,
Rain Man, and Kramer v. Kramer.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Harlan?
Rain Man.
It's Titanic, you guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, because I know Kramer. Oh no. I was gonna say Titanic first, and I started thinking about Kramer versus Kramer, and I was like, you know what? I think it is.
Okay, this last question should be easier for you guys to get right.
Okay.
So I think we all know that Javier Bardem's character is quite a famous piece of movie trivia, has been named as the most accurate on-screen psychopath in films. But according to the same study, I'm going to name you some psychopaths from films, and you need to tell me if they're a very accurate portrayal of a psychopath or a very inaccurate portrayal of a psychopath.
Okay.
I have 3 psychopaths here. You just got to tell me if they're accurate or inaccurate.
Okay.
First one, we have Jordan Belfort, Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street. Cameron, do you think that's an accurate or an inaccurate psychopath performance?
The performance, the performance, was Jordan Belfort even a psychopath? He was just not that good of a person. I'd say, I think I'm gonna have to. Okay, this is a trick. So are these all known psychopaths? Like, so was Jordan Belfort on the list?
Yes, he is on the list as either accurate or inaccurate.
I think the performance, I'm gonna say accurate.
Okay, Harlan, what's your answer? Are you gonna go the same or go different?
I'm gonna go inaccurate.
Cameron gets the point.
No, bro.
I think I remember watching a video about the real Jordan Belfort talking about how good Leonardo DiCaprio was.
Yeah, he used to really annoy me. Yeah, because he'd come up on my TikTok, Jordan Belfort, and everyone would be like being real nice to him in the comments. I'm like, shut up, people. This is a horrible guy. Anyway, sorry to get. That's not even political. Whatever that was. Okay, second psychopath. This one, if you've seen the film, probably easier to get right. Norman Bates, who's the killer, spoilers, in Psycho.
Accurate.
It's inaccurate.
What?
Yeah.
It's inaccurate?
I think it is kind of just the joint personality thing is quite inaccurate in the way he shows it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I watched Psycho for the first time recently in the cinema.
You mean American Psycho or just Psycho?
Psycho.
Oh, right. Oops.
Okay, final one.
Cut that out, Dean.
No. Final one. Hannibal Lecter. This is Anthony Hopkins.
I'm gonna say accurate.
I'm gonna say inaccurate.
Okay, the answer is inaccurate. So we have a tie.
Yes!
We have a tie. I've got a very simple tiebreaker for you guys.
Oh man.
You are going to take it in turns.
Okay.
To name a Coen Brothers film. If you miss one out and the other person gets it, then they win. Okay, so it's just Cameron, do you want to go first? Just name us a Coen Brothers film.
Fargo.
No Country for Old Men.
I'll allow it. Go on, Cameron.
We have to keep naming them.
Yeah, keep
going. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Hail Caesar, was that one?
Yeah, Hail Caesar.
Oh come on. It's a more recent one from like 2014. 1 second, I got it. No Country for Old Men, Fargo, Hail Caesar. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
That's not
the one I was thinking of, but
I don't have anything else.
You're missing okay, come on.
What am I missing?
So are you giving the victory to Cameron?
Yeah, I'm giving the victory to Cameron.
The one which I would be my first answer is The Big Lebowski.
Oh, that's right. I'm so used to dark and grittier, violent movies. I
literally have The Big Lebowski right there on my door, and I didn't even say it.
You've also got Burn After Reading, which I think is quite a good film. It's an interesting one. Don't know if either of you have seen it.
We need to get around to it. I haven't seen it yet, but
Inside Llewyn Davis, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, The Tragedy of Macbeth. That was their latest. True Grit.
That was actually just Poland.
Raising. I haven't seen most of these. I haven't seen a lot of their.
I didn't even say Raising Arizona. Oh,
We still haven't said the one that I'm thinking of. The one, it's the one with Jeff Bridges, not the Big Lebowski. The what, like the
R.I.P.D.?
other Western one.
Um,
What's that?
True
It
Grit.
has yeah, True Grit. That's the remake.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
There you go.
Okay.
Cameron, you are smarter than a Fluffy Duffy, which, to be honest, doesn't take a lot to do. So,
Nope.
congrats, I guess.
Good one, Dean. Good one.
Okay.
Anyways,
let's get to the film.
Yes. So, Cameron, you brought this movie as your quote unquote favorite movie. And for when it comes to us, we have like a lot of people when we ask to bring on the podcast, we ask to bring their favorite movie. And that's obviously a very, very difficult thing to do. So it's just like whatever they want to talk about. But like, when it comes to the movie that we choose as like the favorite, it's typically the one that just like resonated with us the most whenever we saw it. So what was your viewing experience like when you saw this movie, or your most recent one?
Well, wait, sorry, you said most recent one?
Or like the one like you most like vividly remember?
A movie I most vividly remember. I'm trying a film
when it comes to like No Country for Old Men, like your most vivid memory of watching this movie.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Well, when I watched it I watched it for the first time probably like 3 years ago. And before that, I knew about the movie and I knew about Anton Chigurh, and I always loved the characters in the movie. But when I saw it for the first time, I was just like blown away by it. And the more I rewatch it, it's like the better it gets each and every time. But the most vivid memory, I'm trying to think, because I've seen it like probably 10 times. You know what? I don't know if I can answer that question because I honestly don't know if I have an answer. I'm trying to think of a vivid
So
memory.
what was your first time like, if you remember that?
The first time I watched it, I found it to be a slower film. But I like slower films. I don't know about you guys, but I like films that are slower, that takes a little bit to pick up. But when I first saw it, I didn't like it as much as I love it now, obviously, because it's my favorite movie. But the first time I watched it, I just remember thinking this is just like a really like suspenseful, and I couldn't even believe Javier Bardem's performance. It was just, I mean, it's 100% accurate that he got the most accurate portrayal of a psychopath in the movie, because when you watch No Country for Old Men, you remember it. Like you remember the movie, the violence. It's very shocking, a very shocking movie. Just the amount of like inhuman violence. It just made like, that's what I remember most of it when I watched it for the first time, is just thinking, wow, this is like like crazy.
And that's why Javier Bardem didn't want to do this film, but he didn't originally want to do it because he was like, I don't enjoy violence in films, and I don't want to play this bad character. And the only reason he decided to do it was so he could work with the Coen brothers.
Yep, because he always wanted to work with the Coen brothers. And what's funny is that the Coen brothers actually said that the reason he didn't want to play the character was like perfect. Like they said that the reason that he didn't want to, because it was a violent character, said that it would help build the character in the movie, which I was like, the way the Coen brothers direct is just it's insane. I love the Coen brothers.
They're brilliant. But I can say that my first time seeing this movie, which was probably like, I think it was like a year ago, I downloaded it for like a road trip and watched it there. I did not like this movie because I did not like this movie because it's probably like the only one that I could like really think of that I could compare it to would be like Pulp Fiction, in the sense of like it doesn't play out like a typical story. It's like because like how, spoilers by the way, how Josh Brolin dies in the movie, how the movie ends. The entire time I was getting hyped up to see the guy that hates Jim Carrey, old guy,
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Go up against oh my god, I'm having trouble with my names. Thank you.
Anton Chigurh. Yeah,
Anton. And it never happened. And I was so not angry, but I was so like unsatisfied with that. But the second time viewing it today, I enjoyed it significantly more because I knew like the fates for the characters and I could just not be getting excited for that, but just enjoy what was happening on screen. If that makes sense.
And I've what's funny is that before this podcast, I was actually reading No Country for Old Men, the novel. I've already read it. I just want to reread it because it's such a good novel. Like the way the movie is, honestly, it's not identical to the book, but everything that pretty much is in the movie comes pretty much straight from the book, except for the fact that I think I like the script for the movie more than the actual novel, because in the novel there are a few things that you read where it's like, you know what, I don't know, that doesn't really sound something like a psychopath would say. Because the way Anton Chigurh is portrayed, he's more of a, not comedic, but he has like a different morals than he does in the movie. Because in the movie, he's literally just straight violent. Like, he may give someone a chance for flipping a coin, but like it's so much different. I do recommend reading the novel. It's a great read. It's like 300 pages. But so talking about when you said you watched No Country for Old Men for the first time, I think I was in the same boat, honestly, but I just didn't want to believe what I was thinking. Because when I watch a movie and I want to go in liking it, I try to find all the possible reasons why I could like a movie. And when I watched No Country for Old Men for the first time, I think I had the same feeling of like, it didn't really play out as I wanted to. Like I said, like honestly, when I saw Josh Brolin's character dead on the ground, I was honestly like, there's no way that's Josh Brolin's character. That has to be a side character. Like, why would they kill him off like that? But I've done so much research into this movie. I have like I did a whole project on it. I wrote a paper on it. Like this movie, there's so much to this movie. And what's so great about it is that the movie is so No Country for Old Men. The title, it's kind of like in the title, the country. So Sheriff Bell, Tommy Lee Jones's character, he's a sheriff that's, you know, he's in a time where crime is way different than it was when he was a younger sheriff or a younger police officer. It's getting worse. Like it's unexpected how bad things are getting. And the way that, for example, Anton Chigurh's character survives, and at the end of the movie in that car accident, he does end up surviving, and the way Moss dies is, it sort of plays into the themes of how the country is changing around crime. And the way Moss dies, it's not how we want him to die. We did want Anton, well, I didn't want him to die anyways, but I'm saying in the story, if he had to die, that's not how we wanted him to die. We wanted him to die because he had the money. Anton Chigurh was after him. We wanted Anton Chigurh to be able to get into a fight with him, but the way he died was unexpectedly, just like how the crime is changing. We have some random drug cartel that come in and kill him, and that's what plays into the theme of the movie, which is what I like so much about it. It's unexpected.
That's so interesting. Because well, like when I first saw the movie, I wasn't like, this is a bad movie, because obviously it's not a bad movie, but I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
like
I get that.
What did I just watch? But you talk about it and like things that I never even like thought about watching it makes it so much more interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's just and there's so many like there. It's just it's such a. I actually was like watching a few videos to get prepared to like just jog my memory of some of the stuff I know about the movie, but like that's just one thing about the movie I love so much. And especially like it shares very similar themes to Fargo, and I actually just watched Fargo for the first time ever, which I'm very surprised because I love the Coen brothers, and that it's also another Coen brother masterpiece, just because I like movies that tackle under the themes of greed and what someone would do for money. And they share similar themes. For Fargo, it's about same thing for money. And actually there's a little Easter egg in both No Country for Old Men and Fargo. The same briefcase is used that hold the money.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, it's a briefcase.
That's
but
cool.
What I was on. So the idea of greed, the way money is portrayed in the movie is a way, there's like two different sides. So for example, when Moss is after he gets shot by Anton after jumping out of the hotel window, and he's all bloody, and he's like, he throws the briefcase over the side of the overpass, and the three guys come over and he says, I'll give you $500 for that jacket. And the guy was not he wasn't just going to give him the jacket, he wants money in return. So he takes the money, and he actually wants to feel it first before he actually gives him the jacket. He gives him the jacket, and then he asks the other guy for his beer, and the guy says, well, since he got money out of giving him his jacket, I should get money out of giving him the beer. So he automatically, instead of just helping the guy by giving him a beer, he wants money. But then there's the other third friend that just says, give it to him, with no insight to money at all. There's three different people. There's always the first person that does it, and then there's the second person that leeches off the first person for money, and then there's always going to be that one person that wants to actually help. And there's it's like it sounds confusing when I talk about it, but
no,
it's just,
no, I'm
that makes
following you.
sense. Yeah, I get
when
it.
you think about it with the themes of the money, it's same thing happens at the very end of the movie. Money is a way of getting you out of situations. Like, and it's like, but it won't fix things prolonged. Like Anton Chigurh, when he's broken, like when his arm's broken and he's in distress, he gives the kid $100 bill for his shirt, but the other kid doesn't get anything because he wasn't offered the money for his shirt, and they fight over the money. They're like, so am I going to get half of that for being here? But he didn't give anything up, and there's always going to be fighting over money, no matter what. If money overpowers everything. And it's just, I don't know. I just love movies that tie into like how powerful money is. But like, I don't know.
No, that's super interesting. I feel like this is like one of those movies where like I feel like I haven't hopped on the not the hype train, but like the appreciation train. Like I feel like I'm that same way with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of that dude, but also at the same time I just like can't really get into his movies as much
That's
as other
kind of me
people
with
can.
Chris Nolan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't get him started on Christopher Nolan. He hasn't even seen Interstellar. It's like,
oh, really?
how can you like say you don't like Christopher Nolan and not see Interstellar? He literally has it on DVD and hasn't seen it.
Oh, really? Yeah, Christopher Nolan is, I don't know. I feel like Christopher Nolan is like from the future or something, and he just knows stuff that we don't. Like, I mean, he got like the most accurate portrayal of like a black hole. Like I don't know how he does it. Like, I mean, like the only movie I honestly don't actually, The Dark Knight Rises, I didn't actually like the first time I watched it, which was when I was like 10 when it came out. I actually didn't like it just because it was, I don't know. It was far different from The Dark Knight. It just wasn't as good. I like it. I like the movie, but the only movie that I could say that I just still don't get is Tenet. I think Tenet is by far his most like hard to get films. I think.
Yeah.
He flew too close to the sun.
It's so confusing.
Tenet, like I saw Tenet like a couple of months ago actually, and I saw it with two of my buddies, and I feel like we talked about the movie longer than the movie actually was, just because like there were so many pieces where like, wait, but if that had but then that was just like 2 hours of doing that. Yeah,
Tenet was kind of where I turned on Nolan.
He literally was like I'm sure he can make them probably he has the capability of making the greatest movie of all time, and I feel like Tenet is secretly one of the greatest movies of all time just because we have no idea what the movie is actually trying to tell us. Christopher Nolan knows too much, and he put so much of his mind into Tenet.
Did he write?
Like I thought that about like his not his first movie, but one of his first more popular movies, Memento. Like that movie's amazing, but it's also very, very confusing.
I have not. Memento is like really high up on my list of movies to get to.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's crazy. I mean, it's a pretty crazy film, and after you have to think about it for a while. And that's what I like those kind of movies too, where you have to think about it for a while and then you might have to go back to rewatch it. Mm-hmm. I actually haven't watched Memento. I watched it one time in school, and then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? That's actually a pretty great movie once you think about how he actually made it. It's so how his mind works is crazy.
But Dean doesn't appreciate it.
I don't. And I'm not afraid to admit it.
But you've seen Inception, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Inception's awesome. I love his film The Prestige. I love that movie.
That's a good movie. Dean,
I think that might actually be like
it's fine.
My favorite.
It's fine.
Wait, did we have to watch The Prestige or somebody?
Yeah, we did. We watched it with who was Callum? It? No, Callum was Truman.
Oh yeah.
I can find out for you.
Yeah. somebody brought on The Prestige. I feel like I've seen The Prestige so many times, and none of which was for myself. I think I had to watch it for school once. I had to watch it for I had to watch it for the podcast once. But it's still a great watch every time.
Was it like Joey?
It may have been Joey.
I've got the list loading here. It was episode.
Oh, you got it.
I saw it. I saw it. Now it's gone. Here we go. Episode 7 of Guest Best, which was episode 21 overall. Oh no, sorry. Episode 6 of Guest Best, which was episode 18 with Joey Faubert.
Okay, so we were right. There we go.
I was right.
I think one of my okay, so this is like an off fact that doesn't have to pertain to any of our conversations so far. But it's something I always love to mention whenever talking about No Country for Old Men is how close that and the set of There Will Be Blood were. Do you know about this? This is so cool. Dean, do you know about this?
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
So like while they were if you've seen There Will Be Blood, it's like about this is an extreme oversimplification, but it's a movie about oil. But there is one part where there's like a big fire, and while the sets of There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men were so close that the smoke in the sky was in the shot for No Country for Old Men, so they had to shut down for the day and come back the next day because of the movie. I love that fact. Fascinates me every time.
Oh yeah, it's a great one. I like talking about that. It's because first off, because both those movies are glorified masterpieces. I think they are both. This might be controversial, but I think they're both the best work from both the directors. I haven't seen all of Coen Brothers films, and I haven't seen all of Paul Thomas Anderson films, but from the films that I've seen from both directors, they are my favorite from them. But the thing is that they were both fighting for each other for Best Picture, and they both share very similar themes of greed and money.
I'm a big Lebowski guy just because I love weird films like that.
It's a great film, and it's actually like hilarious. It's like a hilarious movie, and I wish they still made movies like that where films could just be hilarious. Just doesn't even have to be like, it's just the way it's written and the way they like the delivery. It's so funny. That movie is just hilarious.
I do feel like comedies are kind of on the decline nowadays.
Yeah, because I feel like the best one to come out in recent time would be The Nice Guys.
Yeah,
that wasn't even that recent.
So funny.
No, that was 2016.
But yeah, but like I'm to me, I'm kind of like, that's still not that recent.
Right, but like that movie, I feel like is one of the best, like off filter kind of like not like typical rom-com comedies, and it did not do well at all.
Like Lethal Weapon, which is the same writer, Shane Black, but yeah, like it's the same thing.
Shane Black wrote Lethal Weapon?
Yeah. I thought he directed it, and I made that mistake in my video when I talked about The Nice Guys, but he wrote it. So you can definitely see the similarities between The Nice Guys and the Lethal Weapon movie. But yeah, I don't know. I love The Big Lebowski. I watched it for the first time when I was like young. I think I watched it for the first time when I was 9, and my parents were like skipping through it, and I remember that. And I recently, like probably like a few years ago, I rewatched it, and it was just so funny.
What do you think was like the last like comedy which really made you laugh, like in cinemas?
Let's see.
I'm trying to think. Like, there's been movies with really funny moments for me. Like, I really enjoyed Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Like, the movie itself wasn't great, but like, I thought there were bits of it which were very funny. But like,
there were very funny moments.
But I wouldn't say that's a very funny movie throughout, like a lot of the best comedies are.
This isn't a recent one, but Deadpool 2. I was with my friends. I could not stop laughing. Like, I think that movie is honestly arguably more funny than the first one, but I don't know which one's better.
I prefer Deadpool 2, personally.
You do prefer Deadpool 2? I think what's so good about the first Deadpool movie is that it's simple. Like, it's short. It's like an hour and a half or something like that. It's just like, it's funny. It's more raunchy than the second one, but I don't know. I love David Leitch directing. And Bullet Train. I think Bullet Train was funny. It's a movie that not everyone will laugh at. It's definitely more dry humor, but like I love crap, what's their names?
Aaron Taylor Johnson and
Brian
Tyree dude.
Yeah,
Brian Tyree Henry. Those two in that movie were awesome. I just love the line delivery. It's funny. I think that movie is honestly going to be one of the more underrated films of the year, just because it's getting review bombed for some reason. I don't know why.
I would just say that movie has funny moments. I wouldn't say like it's hilarious from start to finish. You know, there are bits which I think are really funny. I've seen it twice in cinema now because I went with a friend this week.
Oh, me too. And I went with a friend this week too. But it wasn't each other.
No, because we aren't friends. The moment which the moment which really got me the second time I watched it is, I guess this is a spoiler if you haven't seen it, but not really, is when Brad Pitt goes out onto the train track pretending to be Brian Tyree Henry, and then he lifts up the case and it opens. Got me both times.
That was awesome. Just like how would that happen? Like what are the chances that would happen? It's funny. It was. It's God. David Leitch is like super good.
I really wish like Bullet Train caught on more like online, because like nobody's really talking about this movie, but oh my God.
I talked about it before.
Everyone's too busy talking about No Country for Old Men, I think.
For real. Like people, like the thing about like media nowadays is like what I don't understand. For example, She-Hulk. The way people get excited for these shows is like so unfair. Like when the first trailer for She-Hulk came out, I remember everyone. I mean, there were the select few that actually thought it looked good. Like me, I thought it looked good. But then there was people that were being like very mean about it, saying that this is going to be the worst Marvel show. And then as soon as it comes out, those same people that were saying it looks terrible are just saying it looks good because everyone else is. You can't like
exactly.
It's so annoying. And that's about almost like every single Marvel project. I think like I don't know, like when Loki first came out, it was the best. Everyone thought it was the best, but now it's overrated. Now it's the worst Marvel show. It's like, can there just be a best and a worst? Like, why does it have to change? It's like annoying. Personally, I think Loki is the best out of all the Marvel shows. That and WandaVision.
Dude, me too.
Oh, really?
Loki is my favorite Disney Plus show, and
it's my least favorite.
Hates it.
Oh, really? It's your least favorite?
What's your?
I mean, What If's my least favorite, but we're not counting that.
Yeah, What If doesn't really count. Actually, if I'd have to say the worst, it would probably be I Am Groot, but that's because it doesn't really. I mean, it was awesome.
Okay.
I liked watching it. It was enjoyable, but like, I mean, it was less time. I mean, it's just a cute show. I mean, it's just.
I don't count I Am Groot, and also I loved I Am Groot.
I did too. I thought it was very like cute and enjoyable because any Groot content, it's my content, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So Dean doesn't like Loki. He doesn't like the finale, but I love the finale.
I like the finale too. I like the way it actually sets up a season 2 as if it were like, for example, a Netflix show. Like it's not like a Marvel, because like what I don't understand about the Marvel shows is like, when are they going to come back? There's too much in the MCU right now. Like I remember when the Civil War, the Civil War era, the Captain America Civil War era. Like those movies were so good. Like I remember being able to be excited for a Marvel movie knowing that it was going to be good. Now there's like 7 TV shows, there's little like cartoon shows, then there's like all these movies that are coming out. Like I don't know, I just think there's too much. Like when is Moon Knight going to come back? When is She-Hulk going to come back? Like there's no Marvel movie that is announced that can make me think that they would come back. There are too many well named actors. You guys get what I mean? Chris Evans was a popular actor when Captain America first came out, but he definitely wasn't nearly as popular as Oscar Isaac being casted as Moon Knight.
I think the large difference is that Chris Evans was very popular, but he was largely very popular as Captain America. That's what he was known for. But when you get Oscar Isaac, he's very popular, but people aren't. Yeah. It's not because of Moon Knight, despite
that's not. What I was getting at is exactly actually what you said, is that Oscar Isaac was like, popular before Moon Knight, like very popular for his acting, and then he got cast. I don't know. There's just too much, and I just wish the reason why Captain America Civil War, this might be controversial, that is my favorite MCU film. And it's because there's so much in it, but it's like handled so well. Like it almost feels like an Avengers film. But there's emotion to it. And honestly, I think every single suit that was in that movie was the best version of their suits. I don't know about anyone else, but I loved all their suits. Iron Man suit, Captain America suit, Black Panther suit. They were all so clean. I don't know.
Yes.
We have.
Did you think the Russo brothers recently got into there's just a bit they had to respond to some talk online talking about how complaining about the color palette for Civil War. And I love Civil War, so whatever. But people were complaining, the color scheme is too gray and blah blah blah. And then the Russo brothers were like, oh yeah, we made it a really gray movie on purpose.
That's like one of my favorite things about it, I think, is the way it's more of a darker tone.
Yeah.
Like, because the movie's darker. And like, I think one of my favorite moments from the MCU is when Tony Stark discovers that Bucky killed his parents. It's one of the most well executed performances by any actor in the MCU in a specific scene. It was so well done. Like the tension, the buildup, I think Robert Downey Jr. gave probably one of his best performances as Iron Man in that movie. Same with Chris Evans. Bucky Barnes was awesome, just like pulling out of the Winter Soldier. There's just so much to love about that movie. Just like there's so much. And
that movie,
literally everything.
We can check the tape on our ranking of the Marvel. We ranked all Marvel content, and I've said this multiple times. Captain America Civil War is my favorite MCU movie. But we did rank.
It's top 3 for me.
Yeah, but we did put Guardians at number 1 on our ranking. That movie's really good.
I love Guardians. I think Guardians is just like, it's a great movie. It's funny, and it doesn't like try to be funny. Like there's just moments where, because the characters are just stupid, so it's like whatever they say is just funny.
But it's also like I don't know how James Gunn does it, but he is able to make like such comedic movies have so much heart.
Exactly.
Like at the end of it, where Star-Lord has a power stone in his hand or whatever, with that moment where like the music's swelling, Black Tears is the song. I listen to it all the time. Oh my God. It's so good.
The bit that always I love about Guardians of the Galaxy is how, you care about these characters as much as you care about the Avengers in the Avengers, and they've all had their own like solo movie, and they've all had their own chance to shine, and these characters so much better, and you know them from the comic books as well. You just know all these characters so much better, and then just James Gunn is like Raccoon, Tree, Green Lady, and you love them just as much as you love the Avengers, and you care about them just as much after seeing them in one film.
Yep.
Oh my God.
That's why I'm so excited. Yeah, I was really about to mention that. I'm just so excited for it because it's like going to be centered around Rocket Raccoon, and I don't know. There's so much to his story that I'm excited to see like get told. I'm not excited to see them leave because I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like I think Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely top 5 MCU films for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to bring a box of tissues to that. I have a feeling Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to make me cry harder than any movie, including like
I can see
Infinity War, where Spider-Man died. Okay, I will cry harder for Guardians of the Galaxy dying than Spider-Man. That's saying a lot from the man with the Spider-Man tattoo. Dean, did you have I have a Spider-Man tattoo?
No, you specifically said to me when you came to visit that you would never show it to me.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah, but then I saw it because what I was about to say sounds weird. I saw it because I came into your room early in the morning to wake you up.
I was wearing my jammy jams.
Yeah, he was wearing his jammy jams and his
which is nothing.
He was in the nude, and so was I because I thought that would get him out of bed quicker.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Jokes. It was Will.
It's not a joke.
Anyways. Yeah, how do we get to talk about the MCU? Yeah, how did we?
I think we started talking about. You know what? I don't know.
I just
think
so much to talk about on autopilot, and us as the content creators, we're like, we need to talk about Marvel views.
Oh, I think it's because I was talking about how the media is getting so distracted by the new MCU show.
Oh, yeah, you got it. There you go.
Yeah,
but well, to add to that point, rewind. I do think it's so interesting how like a movie. Well, actually, Bullet Train didn't flop, but it hasn't done great. But it didn't flop. How subjectively amazing piece of like original media is like so good, but like nobody's talking about it, and it's not like a cultural phenomenon like Endgame, or that's not fair. How like Guardians would be.
Yeah.
And why isn't Bullet Train getting the same attention Avengers Endgame got? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what I don't understand is that Bullet Train, I mean, I know Deadpool 2 and Bullet Train both come from the same director, David Leitch, and you can definitely see Deadpool 2 in Bullet Train. Honestly, when you think about it, well, actually, the ending to Bullet Train is literally almost identical to Deadpool 2. I mean, you got spoilers for Bullet Train, but I mean, you got, the heroes, like the main characters that are standing next to each other. Some of them almost died, but they came back. And then you got the villain that was in the movie that wasn't like particularly the main villain, gets run over by a car. Like, you know what I mean? They're like very similar. And people love Deadpool 2. People ate that up, which is valid because Deadpool 2 is awesome. The comedy, I honestly think it is funnier than Bullet Train. But I think it's because Deadpool is the character that makes us laugh. But Bullet Train had the same like tone, like it had the same comedic, like it had like the same kind of comedy, but people just don't like, I don't know, people are just not interested in these like kind of films, giving movies a chance. And this is a TV show. I don't know if you guys have gotten around to watching it. I highly recommend that you do, but have you guys watched The Terminal List?
No, I have not.
So The Terminal List is a show
Chris Pratt one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Chris Pratt show. It's one of my favorite shows of the year. It has a 39 on Rotten Tomato, but it has like an 8 on IMDb. But it got review bombed on Rotten Tomato because of politics that we don't have to get into, but also because of not liking Chris Pratt, which is more politics, which I understand. I mean, just like, but
that is a can of worms.
Yeah, and I was excited for The Terminal List. The trailer didn't really hook me, but then after I saw a few clips from the show, I was like, you know what, this looks great. And then I started watching it, and then I noticed that it had terrible Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, what? And then I kept watching it, thinking that an episode would come in where it would make them go down. But honestly, each episode got better and better and better, and it was some of the best like military like story I've seen in a while. I mean, it's like it's heartbreaking. There's tension. I mean, there's so much in that show to like, but like that's why I don't like Rotten Tomatoes. Like sometimes Rotten Tomatoes gets it right, but for the most part, it gets it horribly wrong. Like for example, X. I did not really like that movie.
I didn't like it that much.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was
okay. And I can definitely I like talking about movies that I don't particularly like with someone that does like the movie, because like I can look at it in a different perspective and like it more. But like when I saw X in the theater, my initial reaction was like, that was so anticlimactic. And I think it's because the movie, like I like classic 80s horror movies, like I do really like them. And I think that's why people ate it up so much, is that it felt like an 80s classic. But I don't know, that movie, it was just so like underwhelming. I didn't really like a lot of the characters except for the main one, which I'm excited that we're getting a spin-off movie with the actors returning, not playing the same character, but I liked her in the movie, so I'm excited to see what she does in that movie, because I already think Pearl looks way better than X. But yeah, I just wasn't a fan of X, and Rotten Tomatoes ate that movie up, and I think that's just because of the nostalgia factor. But that's just me.
I think like a good comparison is the movie Beast, which I think comes out today, but I was fortunate enough to see
next week for me.
Anyways, Beast and I think X are like two really good movies to compare to each other, because X is like a classic like slasher movie, right? And Beast is like a quote unquote classic monster movie. By classic, I mean like there's nothing special to it. It's just like a, simple sort of a thing. But like X is able to X did it well. Like it was still like a good movie, whether like nostalgia, because I don't have a lot of nostalgia for those movies because my family wasn't big into watching those. I knew
Yeah.
it was nostalgia for some people, but I was just watching it, and when I came out, I'm like, that was good. I enjoyed it. It's not something I would typically go out of my way to see because big into like I'm not big
Old
into
people
horror.
having sex.
You got it. Actually, on the contrary, that's
We
the
got
only
another.
reason
We
I saw
got we
it.
got a soldier boy over here.
That
Oh,
was a very
oh.
uncomfortable scene to watch.
Anyways,
Yeah,
oh
that's
my god, that
definitely up. That and
was
the ending of Men may be the most uncomfortable I've been in the
Actually,
cinema.
no, Men is the most uncomfortable I've been this
yes.
year. That movie was like, I love A24. I'm like
And
very
I
biased.
didn't like it either particularly.
I didn't either. I didn't really like it. I thought it was just trying to be deep.
And it was
when
the thing is, its commentary for me was just so surface level.
Mhm.
Like it was kind of like, this is, it's
When I
that's
first
another
saw
can
it,
of worms to.
I thought it was okay. So when I first saw it, I liked it more than most people, but that was because I
Because
thought it was
this was like your first introduction to feminism, and you were like, oh,
yeah.
this
I'm
has
like,
some good
oh,
points.
feminism,
Well, the
equality.
reason it was so uncomfortable for me is because I watched it with one of my one of my friends that just so happens to be a girl, and so
Oh,
not my girlfriend, but a friend that's a girl, and I don't know. I feel like it made it 100% more awkward.
yeah, it definitely would. Like, what do you do?
It honestly felt as if I was spoilers for the movie. It honestly made me feel like as if I was watching like a birth thing with like it was
You should have
like,
just leant over and went, don't worry, I can't do that.
but
it was, yeah.
yeah, I
um,
mean, yeah.
but I thought it was like so like I knew it was like what it was saying, but I thought like, oh, there's more to this puzzle that I don't understand. And I enjoy things when I don't completely understand it because then that means like
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna be
must enjoy
thinking about it
most
for a while.
things then.
Why do I do this? I've done this for so long with you, and every time.
This is week 62, 63, maybe. I don't know, something like that.
Anyways, um, but like this is one I just thought I didn't understand completely, and I enjoyed that as I was trying to think about more about it. So I gave it a higher rating than I think I should have.
Mhm.
I don't remember what I gave it. I think it maybe like a 7 out of 10.
I think I gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 2.8 out of 5. So like a 7.6. Oh wait, no, 2.8. That
Quick
would be
math.
that would be 5.6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of 10. But one movie that I honestly really want to talk about is Joker 2. I am so excited
Me
for that
too.
movie. And this is what I mean by media is like deteriorating people's minds as to how original a movie can actually be, because that's what Joker's 2 is doing. Like, did you ever think that we were going to be getting a Joker movie that's a musical? And like, it was like, because I love musicals. I love some of my favorite movies are musicals, like La La Land. But like,
same.
Harlan only watched that for the first time when he came to the UK. Everyone.
Yeah, and I really, 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 really liked it.
Yeah, La La Land is just, it's a beautiful film. I love Damien Chazelle.
It's like my second
But
favorite film
when
ever.
people think musical, they automatically think like High School Musical. They don't think about like the greats. Like even it like this.
Are you
film-
saying High School Musical
whoa.
isn't one of the greats?
Hold a second back. Why do we gotta be this in High School Musical? Like
I don't see why that had to come into this.
I meant like by the greats. I meant like West Side Story.
High School Musical 2.
High School Musical 3. Let's be honest here. That's one.
You're so...
But like people think about High School Musical, which definitely wouldn't fit with the Joker theme. But don't it's like
I'd pay to
what
watch that
people
film.
don't think about is like Sweeney Todd. Like Sweeney Todd is a dark musical. That's what I think you should definitely look at when you're thinking of Joker 2. But the idea, I made like a few videos on why I think Joker 2 is a perfect idea, because like, I mean, dancing is like a huge part of Joker. Like he uses it as a celebratory manner. He does it when he kills someone. He does it when his mom died, or like he does it as a way of sort of calming himself down. And people are just not giving it a second chance. People hear musical and absolutely just get rid of any other possibility of why it could be amazing. Like, it could be amazing because Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor for Joker. Todd Phillips.
I think if you're writing a film off because of genre, or you just write a genre off, you're wrong, and that's the end of that.
Okay, good job, Dean.
I just think, yeah, a genre doesn't make a film good or bad for me. I can enjoy any genre and I can hate any genre.
Exactly.
Me and Dean, we did an episode talking about like what this sequel would look like, and I think we got it. I think if the movie that we wanted, like we wrote out Joker 2 to be, if it's not this, I'll be very surprised. But we think like Joker 2 is going, like the protagonist of the story is going to be Harley Quinn, and it's going to follow her kind of like losing her sanity from the Joker's manipulation, and sort of like the musicals are going to be like from her point of view, and I think that works me.
That would be interesting. Actually, I didn't look at it in that way. So when I think of Joker 2, of what we've had so far, like the pictures, like that little teaser trailer where it was them dancing, literally all that's in my mind is just Joaquin Phoenix dancing with Lady Gaga. That's all that's in my mind. But like the way this movie is being like marketed so far is just, it's perfect. Like that is definition of a teaser trailer, like a art form of showing us it's going to be gritty. The music is very like staticky. It's going to be very eerie. We have, Joker and Lady Gaga. It's just, and the budget is like $150 million. That is crazy.
Isn't that like,
and it's
10 times what it was?
It's almost 3 times. The first one was $55 million, which was just, I mean, like the reason, like with $55 million, what they did with that movie was just insane, because Todd Phillips doesn't like CGI. I remember reading that, like back when Joker first came out, he doesn't like CGI. They did a few things in the movie with CGI, but for the most part, it was all like mainly real. Obviously, they didn't actually shoot people, so there was some CGI, but for the most part, it was all real.
Wait, are you telling me Robert De Niro is still alive?
But for Joker 2, they said that there's gonna be a lot of complicated musical like numbers. Like there's gonna be a lot of really challenging like dance sequences, which I'm like so excited to see, because when I think challenge, like I think La La Land, like like with like the camera movement and how in the what's that building called where they are like dancing around, the observatory, that's what it is. Like that scene, I immediately think of that scene, the way they film it, like they just float up in the air. Just that's the first thing I think of, and that's what I don't think people are like thinking when they think of these movies. They don't think hard enough. They just think, oh, musical, that's gonna be garbage. And even if I make a video that goes viral talking about why this movie is gonna be a masterpiece, they still just say, oh, it's a musical, I'm not gonna watch it. It's like, be more open-minded.
They will. As soon as like the film bros are like, yo, this movie's sick, everybody's gonna see it. They're all exactly just like that. That's exactly what happened.
Anyway, speaking of psychopaths, see this move.
What a transition. That was like a 30-minute delayed transition, but good one, Dean. Good,
I had to wait. I was just waiting for someone to mention a movie that involved a psychopath. Okay. just to wrap this up, what if we say favorite moment of No Country for Old Men and a score out of 10?
Oh, do you have a favorite moment in mind, Dean?
No, I was hoping you'd go first, so go first.
I was actually thinking about a few of mine, because I recently rewatched it, and I'm trying to think. There are so many great moments in the movie that I just love so much. I love the convenience store scene where he's like,
I think that was going to be my one.
This man down. I think his performance, the clerk, is so underrated. It's like he was in the movie for what, like 4 minutes, and he put in a stellar performance. Like he just put in he actually looks scared, like from Javier Bardem. I think that may be my favorite scene from the movie, just because, and actually, by the way, that's one of the scenes from the book that's a little bit different, and they did it better in the movie, in my opinion. The way the tension was built up differently from the novel. I love that scene. Like that scene, I'll literally just look up on YouTube it from every like now and then just to watch how good it was done. Just the directing, just
it's interesting.
The sound. But yeah, I think that's I don't know about you guys, but I always hate picking a favorite because there's so many other like there's so many good scenes, and I don't like putting one above the other. That's why it's so hard picking a favorite MCU film. But that scene's probably my favorite scene out of the whole movie, and I think I give it a 10. I've always given it a 10 out of 10.
I mean, I was going to go for that scene, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'd want to say instead.
I think I got one.
Okay, so I'll give it a. You know what? I'll give it a 10 as well. I think it's
okay. My favorite scene, I would probably choose a coin scene, but since that's already taken, I'd probably do the scene with Javier Bardem and Woody Harrelson, just because I think like that's a really good play into, you know, Javier Bardem's character's like mind and like how he works, and then like the way Woody Harrelson dies is like it gets me every time. I'm like, oh my god, okay,
yep,
it's just so well done. And then that phone call too afterwards.
Oh yeah, it's so just because the way the movie doesn't really have a soundtrack or a score.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite things from the movie is that it doesn't really have a score. It's just quiet. It's so awesome.
And I probably, you know what, just to annoy you guys, I'll give it 9.5 out of 10.
I'm changing my answer.
Now may I ask you what is the 0.5 that you didn't like about the movie? Maybe you change your mind with my knowledge from it.
I would probably say that it wasn't longer. Actually, no, that would.
Okay. That's like a backhanded compliment towards the movie. It's like I'm gonna knock off some points because it's so good that there wasn't more of it. So I'm gonna knock off some points.
You know, I'm just giving it to annoy you guys.
No, yeah,
0.5 as to be the devil's advocate, so it doesn't get a perfect 30 out of 30.
And will a film ever get a perfect 30 out of 30? Who knows?
Unless it's Spider-Man.
We've introduced this week.
Spider-Man 2. I'll give it a 30 out of 30.
But you can't give it a 30 out of 30. You can only give it a 10 out of 10. I
will
give
Spider-Man
2 a 10 out of 10.
Just you wait, Dean. Just you wait.
I wouldn't give Spider-Man 2 a 10 out of 10. Spider-Man 1's better. Okay,
let's be honest. No, it's not. No, it's not. Dude, Spider-Man is it's on my top 4 movies of all time, but it's not better than Spider-Man 2.
I could get into this, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
So,
what's your favorite Spider-Man movie?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
mine's Spider-Man.
That's mine too. Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite. I recently rewatched it, and
it's my favorite comic book movie as well.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's worthy of being a favorite comic book movie. It's out of all comic book movies ever, it's definitely in the top 10 for me.
Yeah, sure.
And it's definitely not 10, but it's just in the top 10. I just don't know where.
No comment on whether it's 9 or not. Anyway, Cameron, do you want to plug your stuff so people know where to find you? Your links will be in the bio, but
oh yeah. So if you guys want to go follow me and check me out on TikTok, it's Kodak_Cameron. And then if you want to check me out on Instagram, it is Kodak Movies. And yeah, those are all my links. My Twitter is the same as Instagram, but I'm just not as active on Twitter at all. But I'm active on Instagram and TikTok.
All right.
Great. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much, Cameron.
It's awesome.
Been a pleasure.
Great having you. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. It was awesome.
Wait, Dean. We can't end the podcast yet.
Oh, do you know what I was thinking about when we were talking about Joker 2?
What?
So Lady Gaga has already been in a film with one of the Jokers because she was in House of Gucci with He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Can you name your favorite line from that movie for me, Dean? Just real quick.
Never confuse shit with chocolato. They may look the same, but they taste very different. Trust me, I know. That's Jared Leto in House of Gucci.
There we go. All right.
just to baffle everybody. Cameron at the end. Thanks for joining us, Cameron, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Yep. Bye, guys. Yep.